Sorry ass DJ.
Sulphuric acid is one of the most commercially important of all chemicals. It is also known as oil of vitriol. It is a mineral acid composed of the elements sulfur, oxygen, and hydrogen with the molecular formula H2SO4. It is a colorless, odorless, and viscous liquid that is miscible with water. Sulphuric acid is prepared industrially by the reaction of water with sulfur trioxide, which in turn is made by chemical combination of sulfur dioxide and oxygen, either by the contact process or the chamber process. There are many uses of sulphuric acid. In various concentrations, sulphuric acid is used in the manufacture of fertilizers, treating copper ore, manufacturing of paper and paper-related products, production of agricultural chemicals such as plastics, synthetic rubber, and other synthetic materials. It is also used in the petroleum refining and metallurgical process. Paper plays an important role in many products that we use every day. Paper is used in a broad array of products essential for everyday life, from newspapers, books, magazines, printing, writing papers to cardboard boxes. We are daily surrounded by paper products.
We will present about the uses of sulphuric acid in pulp and paper industry. Pulp is a material that composed of cellulose fiber that prepared by either chemical or mechanical means to be used in paper making process. While cellulose fiber are fibers that made with made ethers or esters of cellulose that can be obtained from the bark, wood or leaf of plant or from other plant-based material. In the next slide, we will see the basic overview of paper making process. From the wood, it will process into a pulp and finally it will become a paper. The pulping process or the process of removal of lignin can be divided into three methods. First is the chemical method, second is semi-chemical or chemi-mechanical, and the third one is mechanical method. In the chemical method, there are Kraft process and sulfate process that also known as tall oil splitting and the bisulfite process. While in the mechanical method, there are SGW, which is the stone ground wood, RMP, refiner mechanical pulping, and TMP, thermomechanical pulping. The chemical method that commonly used is the tall oil splitting, and it also will be discussed in this video. Next, let's see the overview of what is going on in pulp and paper industry. First, the log are fed into the debarking drum and chipper. The chipper will cut the debarked log into wood chip, and the bark is used for renewable energy, while the wood chip are transported into digester for pulping process. Pulping process is the delignification process, and the result is pulp. In the chemical pulping process, which is the Kraft process, wood chips are mixed with alkaline solution, which is the white liquor, sodium hydroxide NaOH, and sodium sulfide Na2S. And it is cooked in high temperature in the digester that also acts as a large pressure cooker. As a result, the lignin will dissolve and the separation of fiber will occur. The byproduct of Kraft process, which is the black liquor, will be sent to the recovery line that consists of evaporation plant, recovery boiler, and castazing. It will undergo several processes to convert the black liquor into white liquor so it can be used again as Kraft process chemicals. After cooking, the pulp still contains lignin, and the color of lignin is brown, so the lignin must be removed in order to produce white paper. After the cooking stage, the cooking liquor that now called as weak black liquor is separated from the pulp during a washing step. On the top of the weak black liquor, there is a layer of soap that have to be removed in the evaporation plant. In the evaporation plant, there are multi-stages of evaporation of weak black liquor to remove the crude sulfate soap CSS. Then, it will further process to form the crude tall oil CTO. The weak black liquor is further evaporated to 80% solid and now called heavy black liquor, which will be burned in the recovery boiler to recover the inorganic chemicals for reuse in pulping process. At the same time, the white liquor is also reproduced at the recovery boiler. Next, the pulp will undergo bleaching process in order to remove the residual lignin so white paper can be produced. The bleached pulp is then taken to the dryer that can be divided into wet end, drying, cutting and baling process. The drying machine will produce thick and heavy sheets of pulp bales, and these bales will then transported to the factories and be used by different industries such as manufacture of boxes and tissues, or it also can continue to be used in the paper making process. Sulphuric acid in pulp and paper industry is used for the acetylation of soap in production of crude tall oil CTO. Next is in the chlorine dioxide ClO2 manufacture, and lastly in the pH adjustment. First, for the tall oil production, crude tall oil CTO is a material that generated in the pulp process that obtained from CSS. The word tall means pine in Swedish, which indicates that CTO is mainly generated in the pulping of softwood or pine trees. The extractives in wood such as resin acid, fatty acid, neutral and oxidized substance will react with the cooking liquor. Then, the acidic lipophilic extractives of wood chips will be neutralized with sodium hydroxide soap. The soap need to be removed from the weak black liquor in order to allow chemicals to be extracted in the recovery boiler. Before it is removed from weak black liquor, the weak black liquor is sent to the evaporation plant. In the evaporation plant, weak black liquor is evaporated to achieve a dry solid of 30% optimal removal of soap. The soap is then removed and now called crude sulfate soap (CSS). The CSS will undergo acetylation, and in acetylation, resin and fatty acid are liberated from CSS with the help of sulfuric acid, and then it will undergo several processes before the formation of CTO layer. Next is in the ClO2 manufacture. ClO2 or chlorine dioxide is a gas that used in the paper industry to bleach wood pulp in the kraft mill. Chlorine dioxide is produced by reducing an AClO3 in sulfuric acid solution. In the equation above, methanol CH3OH acts as reducing agent while sodium chlorate acts as oxidizing agent. Actually, there are several reducing agents commercially applied, but methanol and hydrogen peroxide are preferred because the elemental chloride production is minimized. When the production requirement is large, such as at the pulp mill, sodium chlorate is usually used as oxidizing agent because it is the most cost-effective. Lastly, for the pH adjustment, the alkaline digest process that transforms wood into cellulosic fiber will require the use of strong acids such as sulfuric acid to remove the lignin and other colored substances. This is because the process of paper and pulp production require a stable and almost neutral pH to optimize the process, so the addition of sulfuric acid will help to adjust the pH until a suitable pH is obtained. The pH is measured using a wire pit, and the pH value of the water removed must be examined to evaluate and preserve the strength and quality of the paper.